Hi everybody, I'm Vanessa Pollock with Pollock Properties Group of Keller Williams in northern New Jersey, and super excited to bring you a open house. Although we're not in the house, this is an open house for this fantastic home that I'm going to switch out of screen share mode or into screen share mode and show you 3 Woodhill Drive in Maplewood, New Jersey. Can everyone give me a thumbs up if you can see the screen with a video? Awesome, awesome. So 3 Woodhill Drive is a absolutely delightful dead-end street sandwiched right between Maplewood and South Orange, New Jersey. It's nestled right up against the South Mountain Reservation, which is this beautiful 2,000+ acre reservation for hiking and biking and dog runs and all kinds of wildlife and fun. And this home is on a dead-end street that backs up to that. What I want to share with you from the very beginning, though, is that if you visit pollockhomes.com/3 Woodhill Drive, you'll be brought to the digital brochure for this home. So you may find that you have questions about the house along the way. And what I'd love to do is just let you know that you can go to this digital brochure, and I'll scroll down here, where you'll find a 3D walkthrough of the house, as well as a brief video tour. I'm about to give you about a 15-minute video tour. And then you'll also find the 2D floor plans. So I think it's, before we go through the walkthrough, really important for us to kind of just get the lay of the land here together so that you can see how things lay out. If you see my cursor, I'm going over the first floor right now. You're gonna see that we're gonna come into an entryway, into a hallway that's flanked by the living room and the dining room. And then all the more casual living happens along the rear of the house. And then you'll see us go upstairs. Oh, there's somebody in the waiting room. Let me let them in. There we go. Welcome anyone who's just joining us. I'm screen sharing with you the digital brochure at 3 Woodhill Drive. The second floor, you'll see we come up, and I can't wait to show you this epic master suite, as well as then 2 more bedrooms and a hall bathroom. And then we go up to the 3rd floor, where there is yet another full bathroom and 2 more bedrooms. One is considered the 5th bedroom in terms of bedroom count, although I should disclose that it does not have a closet, and we've labeled it on this floor plan as an office. Really does live like a 5-bedroom though, in terms of the amount of space and the window size and ceiling height up there. And then down in the basement, you'll see that we've got an attached 2-car garage, a rec room, and then lots of storage in the mechanical room, laundry area, and even another storage area. If you have questions, and I'm gonna fly down through this digital brochure, and look, you're gonna get tempted, but we're about to see all of this, so don't worry. If you go through the digital brochure, you will come down to the very bottom, and you'll notice that we've got tons of highlights in here about the property. These are really crafted by our sellers, with our sellers, because they know the home intimately and are able to speak about the experience and the lifestyle of living in the home. Then what I want to direct you to is that on the digital brochure, we have a seller's disclosure, mechanical photos, and then you can view the full listing. Now, if you go to the mechanical photos, you'll notice, because I don't show you this in the video walkthrough, you'll see the AC units, the electric panel, the generator. This is a whole house generator that was installed into this home. You guys, this costs around $25K to put in. And if you have ever been to New Jersey, you know we have a lot of trees that like to fall. And we get cold winters and snow and ice that cause those trees to fall. If you were to lose power in this home, you will be the house that everyone will come to, because you will have the generator that will keep your power on, your TV running, your heat going, and everything operational. But then you'll also see the water heater. It's got a couple of zones of the AC and the furnace here. And then you'll see the radon remediation system. Just quickly for radon, please know that that is a naturally occurring but poisonous gas that is commonly found in northern New Jersey in our homes. We test for radon in every property during the general inspection. And if radon level is found to be above 4.0 picolaries, then a radon remediation system is put into place, and it will drop the radon level way below most homes that don't have the remediation system. So anyone who's interested in this home, yes, you'll do a radon test. Yes, you'll see that the radon remediation system is in place. Yes, your level is going to come in way, way low and you're going to be fine, but it is something to make note of that was done previously here for this property. And then the seller's disclosure. If you have additional questions about this home as it pertains to just renovations and maintenance that's taken place here by these owners, you can access the seller disclosure on that digital brochure. So with that in mind, I will see if I can access the chat board. I want to try to access the chat board mostly so I can let my dear friend and favorite lender in the whole wide world, Matt Keene, jump in and put some information in there. So before we go through the house, just want to say hi to Matt and thank you for being here, and let you jump in and kind of talk to us for a second about things from the financing perspective.
Sure. Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me on. Thanks, Vanessa. So I made up a couple of notes that I just put in the chat board on this specific house. And if you'll see, it starts with the address of the property, through 3 Woodhill Drive, list price of $1,190 or $1,190,000. I put the property taxes in there at $31,337 and homeowners insurance estimated at $1,663, just to round out the escrow. And what I did was I basically listed 3 quick options, so it will give you a sense as to where your payments would end up. So your minimum buy-in, in terms of your minimum down payment on a house like this, would be 16% at $191,000, and that payment would total out at $7,386 a month after taxes and insurance and financing, obviously the majority of the house, 84% of it. So I did 3 scenarios, one being 16% down, one being 20% down, and then finally, if you're going to put down a bulk of money, maybe you're trading up from a house in the 500s and you're going to be buying into this house, you might be transferring some of that equity from that house into this, so it'll allow you to get a lower mortgage. The rates on that program, if you finance less than $765,000, is $299 on a 30-year fixed right now. So yeah, exactly. I mean, it's unbelievable right now. Yeah, isn't that nuts that I'm locking loans right now at $299 for the next 30 years. That payment's locked up at that and can't change from the principal and interest. So that payment would be $59.71 in a scenario
Matt,
like that.
real quick, put me down for a refinance once I've been in the house for 6 months, okay?
Yes, thank you. And I appreciate the 6-month clause, so that helps. But so your payments on this property with taxes and insurance, everything are going to really range from the $730.86 on the high end down to $59.71. Wow. And your rates are going to range from 3.5 down to $299. The reason for the rate difference is, generally speaking, is that the jumbo market really kicks in with any loan amount north of $765, and that rate structure is in a different bracket right now. And the conforming loan limits of $765 and below are being helped by what the Federal Reserve is doing. So it makes a difference in terms of bringing down the rates overall. So there's definitely some opportunity there. If this is in your price point and you can lock in on something like that for the next 30 years, you're in good shape. So, and my contact information is right on the chat board. So even if you want to text me or email me afterwards, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions.
That's amazing. You're awesome. I think what's so amazing to look at the numbers and to think about, you know, there are people in New York City, Jersey City, Brooklyn, et cetera, that are paying between $8,000 and $10,000 a month for maybe a third of the square footage of this and no outdoor space. And so to be able to come out here and have a payment of just under $6,000 a month up to, you know, 7,500, and get, you know, the caliber of home that we're about to walk through and the outdoor space and this community, makes sense to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
And especially at these rates. I remember, you know, when Charlie and I bought our first single family home, we were so excited that we locked in at 7.25%. Like, that was such a big deal. And my dad, who's actually on here, he tells stories of when he bought, you know, back in the late 70s, it'd be late 70s, right, Dad? And I think the rate was like 14%
79.
or 79. Yep. And what interest rate was that at? Do you remember back then, the prevailing interest rates back then?
Yeah, it was August 79. It was 9 7/8, and we closed on a Friday. On Monday, the 1st of September, the usury laws dropped dead, and everything went to over 12 immediately, and
Wow.
eventually ended up at 14 or 15%. So yeah. 299. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. 299 is just unbelievable. So honestly, what we're telling our buyer clients right now, and anyone who's thinking about making a move, is we're not saying stretch your budget. We're just saying buy a forever home that meets your needs for the next 10 to 15 years, so you can lock in at this 299 rate and just sit on that. It's an unbelievable opportunity. All right, well, with that in mind, before I jump into the walkthrough, are there any questions that need to come into the chat board before we go through, or any questions for Matt? No. Matt, do you have a visual on the chat board?
Yes.
Okay, if you'll just jump in if you see anything, that would be
Yep,
awesome.
100%.
Okay, terrific. All right, well, here we are. You will notice that one of the ways that we as an organization have really pivoted during the COVID-19 season is to create digital marketing opportunities for our sellers that keep clients, community, and colleagues safe. So the way that we have done that is to create these extended Zoom open house videos that then I'll screen share with you right now. This was me walking through the house, putting together a walkthrough, and then I'm able to come to you obviously live and do the voiceover for it and answer your questions as we go. But what's terrific about that is that we find that it gets people into a home, but it limits the actual physical exposure. And part of my fiduciary duty is, yes, to market the home, but also to protect, like I said, clients, colleagues, and community. So we're going to have fun and jump in here. If I can get it to push play, we'll be off and running. Here we go. So like I said, Woodhill is this great dead-end street, and it's kind of set up on a hill. This side of the street is on the upside of the hill. So we'll look down towards Wyoming. That's Wyoming Avenue, which is one of our busier north-south streets. You're the second street in on Woodhill, up the hill, up above Wyoming. There's a pathway that comes up from the driveway. And I'm gonna go down and I wanna show you this driveway, because when you're facing the house, it would look like the driveway to the left is your driveway, but actually that's your driveway. And then you come up to the nice flat area of your front yard. And then up the street is where you go to the dead end and you go, it just dumps straight into the reservation. So you've got an entry and a foyer. We're coming into the entry, and we've got a real nice closet here that's California closeted out with shelves, multiple rods, and lots of good storage. So from the entry, then you come into your more formal foyer. This is a grand center hall colonial. Center hall meaning that the stairs are in the center of the house, and you can see that, flanked by living room and dining room. So to the left is this formal living room that has really, really amazing recessed lighting, sconce lighting, really a bay window, but a bump out window at the front, and then open from front of house all the way through to the rear. And we'll go see that little nook here in a second. Go to the front of the house and you'll be able to then take a look at the depth of this formal living room back into the TV. You got a super cozy fireplace in here. There's also one in the basement that these sellers have never used. So we're basically stating that that one is as is. But this one you can absolutely cozy up to on a winter night, and I don't know, maybe some s'mores are happening. And then beyond this opening is then this really cozy TV nook. And you'll see that it opens all the way through to the breakfast area and into the gourmet kitchen. They've got their TV integrated into that half wall. So it's just a great place to sit, watch TV, or prop the kids up and let them watch something while you're here in the kitchen. So nice big breakfast nook. That's not the dining room. We'll see a dining room as well. And then you saw the French doors out to the deck. But there's this unbelievable gourmet kitchen where you have the 2 levels of breakfast bar, peninsula, granite, all custom cabinetry, recessed lighting throughout, really beautiful backsplash tile. In terms of appliances, you've got fantastic wine cooler storage. You've got the built-in microwave into the cabinet, so that keeps your countertops nice and clean and streamlined. An extra deep sink, gooseneck faucet, and then a great view of your backyard. And awesome driveway space for basketball. And there I'm zooming in so you can see the treehouse type port. And then really high-end appliances in here. You see the gourmet stove and the extra big counter depth refrigerator and freezer. Give you a view from this corner. So you can see all the way across. There's a baby gate down to the basement. We're not going to go there yet, but that's so you know where you are. Then off the kitchen is the formal dining room. Many a wonderful dinner party has happened in this beautiful room. And it definitely is just an elegant space. Off of the grand foyer, you also have a powder room. So when you're entertaining, your guests have easy access to the powder room. It's really private that way. It's not off of the kitchen. It's not off of one of the living spaces. It's off the foyer, which is really, from a function standpoint, ideal. You'll see you step up on both sides from the breakfast nook or from the foyer, which creates really good flow. It's really easy access to the stairs. And then here's the first 2 bedrooms on the second floor. This is at the front of the home. So you'll notice there's a little bump out that I'm going to stand inside of to show you the entirety of the space. But it's a really generous bedroom. Then we're going to take a peek in the closet so you can see how deep it is and how well organized you can be when you have that kind of shelving already installed. Now into the second bedroom. This is at the rear of the home. So a lot of times people prefer the bedrooms at the rear, thinking that it might be a bit more private. There's something to be said about that, especially with this view. You're looking out on the backyard, but then that whole area behind the house is part of an easement, and it's owned by the town and will never be developed. Again, I've got closet envy with all of the closets that are fitted out. Now let's go into the hall bathroom. So those 2 bedrooms, oh, I lied. We're gonna go in here first. There's 2 linen closets on the 2nd floor landing. And you'll notice that this house has central vac. So a central vacuum, basically you have that hose and you'll see little areas to plug the vacuum in, and it just, you go around and vacuum and everything disappears into a container in the basement. So great hall bathroom with 2 different areas. You've got the toilet and bathing area, so somebody can be in there with the door closed, while someone else can be out at the double sink area getting ready. Makes it real easy to share. And then again, another linen closet. The storage is just fantastic, especially for a home built in 1937. I feel like in the 20s and 30s, they weren't thinking about storage the way we are now. Now here's your master suite. This one is a stunner. You've got the high windows on either side of the bed, keeping light coming in, but privacy. And then this awesome wall of windows along the back of the property. So, or the back of the house. So you're overlooking the property and you're just overlooking that private easement that will never be built. You will always have that privacy. You'll notice on the ceilings, the venting for central air. You've got 2 zones central air throughout this home, which it's a glorious day today here, but when we get into the 90s, man, is that a treat. Now look at this master closet. Talk about a walk-in closet, you guys. This takes my breath away. You've got this whole thing built out with vanity, dressing area. You can sit and get ready. Drawers and dresser drawers for days. I mean, it is just an unbelievable closet. And then only to be topped by the master bathroom itself. This just does it for me. You've got the marble topped double sink, gorgeous tiling throughout, and then a soaker tub with a window to boot. And look at the gooseneck faucet. It's, I mean, it is, this whole thing just feels like a resort, like you've gone to some Airbnb or some resort. I just think it's so fantastic. So then you've got the glass enclosure, custom glass doors in here, and this really unbelievable tile all the way from floor to ceiling in there with the shower heads. I'm gonna try to not be in the mirror. Oh, yep, barely. All right, so unbelievable master suite, truly. Let's see, let's take another look at the other linen closet. Again, fantastic storage. So then we go through this doorway and we'll go up to the 3rd floor. You'll notice the banister on the right is actually made out of an oar. It's a really cool touch, like a canoe oar. I love that. And then we go into the first of the 2 rooms up here. This one's got a pull-out sofa. It's really primarily used as a home office. I will tell you that inside that closet, it's retrofitted for a voice-over artist. It's completely soundproofed and has a dedicated, the line needed to be able to record in there and patch in to people all around the world. So that's really cool, and I would have to show you that in person. And this is the full bath, another full bath up here. And it has the original soaking clawfoot tub that has then new tile all around the walls to enclose it and make it able to stay waterproof. And then at the other end of the hall, we've got the other room. This is the room I mentioned on the floor plan, does not have a closet. Again, makes a great guest room or perhaps au pair room, or maybe this becomes a work from home space where a closet isn't quite as necessary. Honestly, you could use this. It is the AC area, but I can see someone putting a hanging rack in here to hang up clothes if they needed to. And obviously that is on the newer side when it comes to mechanicals. All right, so going back downstairs. Let's take a look outside. So you've got lots of levels of outdoor living here. Obviously, you've got your driveway space where I can imagine that a lot of basketball can happen. And then you've got this great deck right level off the breakfast nook, open straight up, so perfect for entertaining, where you've got the grill, and then obviously they've got the living room and dining room set up here, but it's a really flexible deck space, especially how it's open along the sides, that you can arrange the furniture in the way that suits your entertaining the best, and then has that integrated corner bench. Let's see if I can back up without hitting that tree. I did it. All the way to the back corner of the property so you can get a sense of this level of flat green space. And then let's just take a peek beyond the back of the property line. You see back into that easement where it really is just trees and greenery for days, and just really brings tremendous privacy to this property. Then these really cool little steps that are built into the side of this hill that take you down to another flat play space where they've got the play structure. And then more steps, and you can see the retaining wall with the ivy growing, and then the built-in 2-car garage. It's real easy to pull all the way back here and then do the 3-point turn to turn around and come out nose first, which is really nice. I don't have that in my house, and so we're always backing into the street, which is fine. But this really does make it easy if you are gonna pull all the way to the back. And then here's just another view of the back of the property. Now that house, that other house, that neighboring house that we're looking at right there, that actually also came on the market recently and is under contract as of last week. So I believe that's an out-of-state relocation. There's a really sweet little garden right here along the side, spilling over into that wall, but you can plant all kinds of flowers and vegetables and lettuces and things like that right off the kitchen. Alrighty. Any questions so far? No? Great.
You're doing great. We're doing good, Vanessa.
Okay, good. So down to the basement. We'll come down here, and obviously really easy access to the basement from the kitchen. Didn't have a door, just that baby gate, so it stays nice and open. That's the door off the driveway that we saw. So if you wanted to park back there and come in through that door, treat that like a mudroom, and then have this really be the rec room. Like, this is where the toys live. This is where either the teen or the toddler hangout happens. And this little landing area just makes the perfect spot for boots and umbrellas and backpacks and bags. And you would have just parked right there and walked right in. And that way you don't have to carry the rest of the mess up into the house. And through this little hallway, you go into one of the storage areas. It's also the laundry room here. Washer and dryer. And then you've got a powder room right here off the laundry. And it actually has a sink. You'll notice as you go through more homes in our area that often the basement toilet doesn't have a sink. But that one does, which is great. So everybody can always wash their hands. Here I am trying to find a light. One more storage space. And it's important to have these storage spaces when your attic is finished and your basement rec room is finished, because you need a place to put the stuff, right? And remember, up here in this home upstairs, It's 2 bedrooms, and the bathroom and that 1 AC closet. So it's really great that you have these extra storage spaces. Again, that was the mechanical room that has the rest of the mechanicals, as well as that radon remediation system, furnace, hot water heater, electric panel. And then this is out to the 2-car garage. So if you did park in your garage, which I don't know many people who do, my dad does, but I don't know many people who do actually put their vehicles in the car. If you're like me, you got too much stuff. You could park in here. There are garage door openers, and then be able to go straight into that little mudroom type area. And then we're back upstairs. Just a little recap of the first floor, going back out the door. Give you a view again of your neighbors. It's about 3-minute drive from my house, so just saying. Be fun to have you be a neighbor. And there we have it. Let's see, did I stop screen sharing? Can you guys?
We're looking at you.
Okay, great. I don't know if that's perfect, but that's where we are. So that is 3 Woodhill, and I'd love just to answer any questions at this point if anybody has any, either through the chat if you want to stay anonymous and not show up, happy to have it show up in the chat, or if somebody wants to reveal their video and ask over the camera, that's great too.
I just want to say I think it's stunning.
Right?
Oh my
Yeah, beautiful.
God. The bones in that house, the elegant.
Right?
And you know, you can tell that probably older people live there, and the young people, with just a little change in paint, could freshen that up and make it so young looking, and yet still have all the charm and elegance that home. I mean, it's amazing, the space in that house.
Well, I will say that the owners are my age, but I guess we are not millennials, and what you're referring to is the millennial design.
Yes, yes, I am. I am.
Yes. So it's such a classic, elegant home. The bones are spectacular.
Gorgeous.
The sellers prior to these owners spent over $350,000 on the renovations. So what you're getting in terms of mechanicals, high-end luxury renovations, the generator, I mean, the privacy, the lot, the location, the dead-end street, the reservation, it really, truly is a forever home. And as Matt had mentioned, you know, at these rates, the fact that you can get into it for a payment of, you know, $6,000 to $7,500 a month, in this area, it's quite something.
Is there a jitney near the home?
Yeah, you're like a 3-minute walk to the jitney on Wyoming that'll take you straight down into town to the train station.
Perfect.
And what's so great now is that so many people in our community aren't having to, well, they're not commuting right now at all for the most part, but even when a lot of the companies do go back, a lot of people won't be required to commute in more than 1 or 2 days a week, and then they'll have work from home for the rest of the week. So to have the upper floor spaces for private work from home, and then have the jitney for those days when you do need to take the train in, I think it really opens up for a lot of people that maybe before had said, well, I have to be walked to town. Well, it's a little bit different now. We don't have the same, you know, I've got to walk to the train. Not restrictions, but what's the word I'm looking for? Like just requirements. That requirement has loosened a lot, and it allows you to get a home of this caliber where you may not have. Not that you can't walk it. I know that you can. But the hill, when you live up the hill by the reservation, it is a hard walk. It's easy going down the hill. It's hard going up the hill home.
Yes. What elementary school, Vanessa?
This is South Mountain.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Where my 3 children went.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, South Mountain, and then South Orange Middle School, and then Columbia High School. Yep.
Beautiful.
Amazing. Well, any other questions I can answer for anybody today? See if there's any.
Good.
Good. All right. Well, I thank you guys so much for tuning in today. If you have any real estate needs at all, obviously Pollock Properties Group has been here serving this community for over 15 years now. We're not going anywhere. We're honored to do it and to have served almost 700 families in the area over those years. We're grateful to, during this season, find interesting ways to market homes that keep people safe. And I also just want to give a little plug in terms of how we like to give back to the community. Our team has been very committed to helping with the assembly and distribution of face shields, protective equipment, face shields for doctors and nurses in our region and now nationally. So if you'd like to get involved, we just helped the leader of that initiative, Jake Ezzo, with the distribution of over 40,000 face shields now as of 2 days ago. We've got a GoFundMe link because those supplies do not just pay for themselves, but the assembly does, because we've got over 300 people in our community who are committed to volunteering, including our town and our whole office. So if you'd like to get involved with that, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask. And obviously, if you have any lending needs, or if you realize, okay, I'm not moving, but I need 2.9, Matt's your guy. Give him a call, refinance, lock that in. And one last thing on that, Matt, I saw from your rate sheet that comes out every Friday that the 15-year loans right now can be as low as 2.5.
Yeah, ridiculous. I have a lot of people, a lot of people that have been in their homes like 8 years, 9 years, right after the last refi boom from like 2008, 2009, 10, 11.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier to make that jump down to a 15-year now more than ever, because you've paid into the loan for almost 10 years.
That's
and
right.
then the rate is probably half or a little bit, maybe you're in the threes, high threes, and now you're going all the way down to 2.5. It makes it way more easy, affordable to get to the 15-year term.
That's right. And I think that rule of thumb is send one extra payment in a year, and that 15 might turn into more like 12 or 13 years.
Yeah, correct.
And
correct.
So for anybody who's got kids who are, in the 3 to 6 year old range, imagine doing that and having your house paid off exactly at the same time they're going to college, right? Like, you got to pay for your mortgage anyway. So why not also have that so paid off that you wake up and maybe you haven't saved in a 529, but maybe you've paid off your loan, and all of a sudden you're able just every month to write that check to the college tuition instead of the mortgage. So that's why buying the forever home is really such a great idea, and locking in these rates right now, just for the long-term financial planning you can do like that. So,
for sure.
Yeah. Thanks again, Matt. Appreciate you being here. And
thanks, guys.
Yeah. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.